Start with Deftones,
The
right?
Deftones.
Ooh,
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
And what was this album called?
Ohms.
Ohms.
Who's leading
Ohms.
off?
Who's got takes? Who's got
shit,
takes?
I think we all have takes. We've all listened to it multiple times, right?
Oh, man. Who wants to go?
I'll
This
go
one's so good.
last. I'll volunteer last.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go middle. Nate, you lead off.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Deftones, household name. We love this band. It's essentially the soundtrack to our lives. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but man, this album is friggin' amazing. I love it, man. From first listen too, it didn't take any time. And some Deftones songs and albums take a few listens or whatever. This one, nope, right out of the gate for me. It was in my headphones. I think one of the best way, I think we can all agree on this, that one of the best ways to listen to an album for the first time is in headphones, because you get it gets your full attention. Almost similar to listening to something on vinyl, where you're just not distracted, or at least you're putting yourself in a place where you can kind of concentrate. So yeah, I loved it. It's I think it falls into the category for heavy therapy pretty significantly. Songs that really stand out. The first song, Genesis, fucking rips. That song kicks ass. Pompeii. I don't know if that's how to pronounce it. It's spelled differently.
Pompeii?
Yeah,
It's
Pompeii.
J-I, right? Yeah.
Pompeii
yeah.
with the J near the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that song and Headless. Those three. I mean, the full album is amazing, but those three really stood out to me. Like, damn, these songs rip. I couldn't get enough of it. I have listened to it quite a few times. I'm actually trying to not over listen to it because I don't want to get tired of it. That's a hard thing to do. I think it's great, and I was really bummed out that this tour got postponed because I can't wait to hear these songs live. What about you, Tom?
So I think we're all going to be in agreement here going forward. I'm just going to guess. I listened to. No, it's terrible. No. I actually, it's funny. I was at our local record store last Sunday at Bull Moose and picked it up on gold vinyl because they had it sitting there, and I hadn't listened to it yet. I had a busy weekend last weekend. It just never came to, and I wanted to give it proper time. I could have put it on in the background and doing other things, but this is an album I wanted to pay attention to. So
nice.
I waited, put it on, I think Sunday night. And I was like, okay, I've already heard Genesis, which I love. I think that's a great opening track. It just kicks ass.
Yep.
I'd heard Ohms, which is the last track, and I was like, okay, I know the bookends are good. I hope the middle is good, and it was. I mean, my first listen, I didn't like that Pompeii song, but listening to it a couple times since then, totally grown on me. It's one of those Deftones songs, like you said, that sometimes needs to grow on you. It did. I think This Link Is Dead is fucking badass. I don't know if you guys, that song is, I love that song. I think it's the best song on the album for me. But yeah, I will come back to this numerous times over the next couple of weeks, months, years. It's an album that I'm sure I'll live with for quite a while.
So all right, context, love Deftones, top 5 band all time. I've listened to this album probably 5 times by now. And I'll say this, and I'll stand by this. First listen, I was like, I don't know. First listen, I was like, I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we're not friends. Not friends anymore.
Well, hold on.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just teasing.
Not there. Yeah. He's good.
The bait out there.
This is a tease.
So I think okay. So first listen, I was like, it's okay to good, and then I put it in again, and I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. And then the third time, it's like, well, damn. So I guess the punchline is definitely a grower for me. I don't want to rush into any hot takes. But here's like what I know for 100% certain is it's better than Gore already.
Yep.
It's better than Saturday Night Wrist already. One thing, on the other end of the spectrum, it's not a white pony. I don't think it's as good as Koi, and I don't think it's as good. Has the potential to be a Diamond Eyes in my album.
I would agree with that.
But it's funny I say that because like I listened to it today and I was like, this album fucking slays. Like for me, the standouts besides the bookends, because you kind of get teased on those. Error was great. That Pompeii song, Link Is Dead, and the riff of the fucking album is Radiant City.
Yep.
And I'm just waiting. The countdown is on. This is a Podioslave hot take. The count is on for a band to come out with the name Radiant City. It's a perfect band name.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's funny though. I was thinking about all the like hype elements of this album for me, and probably for you guys too. One, it's a Deftones album. Obviously, there's hype. The return of Terry Date, hype.
Yep.
This is the album that Steph gets his riffs back. That was what all the narrative was.
Mm-hmm.
The rollout and the optics were brilliant. So it's like, all that considered, I can kind of see why I was a little like meh on the first listen. But now 5 into it, I'm like, it won't be a top 3 Deftones album. It could be a top 5 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep. So you know who else kicks ass in this album? Frank.
Oh yeah.
I think the
Oh, yeah.
drumming. I think I think that the whole interplay between Steph's riffs and Frank's drums are fucking awesome. And I mean, they
Abe.
were on White Pony, right?
Ooh, Abe, you mean?
Oh yeah, sorry. And yeah, it's just fucking great. Like it just
Yeah.
they play together so well, and they provide such a great backbone to what you're listening to. And then obviously Chino's Chino, and you're gonna get great stuff from him when he's locked in like that. But yeah, it's cool. I love it.
Although Frank at the end of that Pompeii song was like, where it has almost like the waves coming in and out, and
Yeah, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
the seagulls and yeah.
seagulls, and
Mhm.
he's got his whatever instrument he's playing, his synth or something.
Yeah. No, it's cool that Frank's like, it's a DJ for sure, but he's definitely he just layers in different sounds. He's something that he brings something to the table for Deftones, which is interesting. But I agree with you, Tone. Abe's drumming is killer. I've always thought he was really good, but it's showcased on this album for sure. I think him and Stefan kind of got the spotlight again on this one for sure.
Do you guys hear the Terry Date influence at all? Because I don't. I didn't. Like, if I think about the albums that he was a part of, in this one, I don't see that kind of
Maybe this link is
fingerprint
dead.
on it.
Maybe this link is dead. That might be
Oh,
the
yeah.
only one though. Honestly, just the speed, the ferocity of that song kind of fits with early Deftones for me. So
Oh,
and
yeah. Sure.
he was around for was he around for Around the Fur? That was his first one, right?
I think he did Adrenaline, didn't he?
Oh, Adrenaline too. Yeah. Okay. So early Deftones stuff that makes sense. Like I hear some of that in that song.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I hear it in the rest of the album, but I definitely hear it there.
Interesting. You know what I was thinking when I was listening to it? I think I listened to it 5 or 6 times too. And this most recent time, I was like, man, I would like this actually. And I think maybe it's because I had an initial first listen love for this album, but to hear this album front to back, I feel like would be kind of cool live. And I
Yeah.
don't usually say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't usually say that because obviously you want to hear old stuff and you want to hear everything kind of mixed in, and the set list is obviously being built on some kind of ebb and flow. But to hear this album front to back live, I think it would be interesting. I think I'd be into that actually. And I almost never say that, especially for new stuff. But something that came to mind mainly because when I was listening to it, I'm like, it sounded like it was live. Especially Stefan's guitars just rip. I think he's an eight string, I think, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think he is.
he's more than your typical bear, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you're right. He got his riffs back, and that was the kind of the lead up. But I
Mhm.
remember reading stuff on Twitter 3 weeks ago, and people being like, "This is a really good Deftones album." I'm like, "All right, well now you guys have got me excited.
Right.
Like, I want this to be a really good Deftones album." And somebody said something about if you like the surprise Hum release this year, you're gonna love the Deftones album. I'm like, okay, well, I love that. So shit, man, like stop teasing me. Like let's just hear it. And it didn't. I don't think it disappointed. It did. It's taken a little bit of time for some of the songs, but I mean, it's been a week, not even, right?
Yeah.
And I'm definitely like, okay, yeah, this could totally be slotted in the top 5 Deftones albums for me.
Definitely a grower. Yeah, definitely a grower, and I think it'll continue to grow. I would say it's borderline great album for me now. Where first listen, I thought it was just good.
Totally.
Yeah.